Okay, if I can get everybody's attention, please. Put your hands together for Trip.
All right, good afternoon, fellow legal geeks. I'm Trip with Disco, and it's both a pleasure and a privilege to be here with you today, speaking on the stage. Sitting through the last few sessions, it's just an honor also to share such inspiring thought leaders in the legal tech space. So, at Disco, we love and take every opportunity to talk about legal innovation and practice. It's literally what our company was founded on almost 10 years ago by a group of lawyers in Houston, Texas, who thought to themselves that they could bring innovation to the legal space and specifically to the dispute realm. And so today I'm particularly excited to share with you some concepts, ideas, and facts around artificial intelligence that will hopefully change your perspective on artificial intelligence in practice, and more importantly, change your usage of AI in practice. So, as we get started here, a little bit of education. So the essence of AI, integrated AI, and legal disclosure technology is, put simply, two things. Number one, to help case teams find fact evidence faster, and to drive down the costs. As data sets grow larger and larger every year, and the cost to pursue legal disputes increases year over year, integrated AI can help significantly. So how does it actually work? Well, it uses a sophisticated, multi-layered computing approach called deep learning. Deep learning, in essence, wires together multiple machine learning capabilities in a very powerful and modular way that can be used towards real-world information-intensive challenges. The first of these deep learning components is a technology called FastText. FastText is actually developed by Meta's AI Research Lab, and what it does is it takes words and it converts them to numbers. But it does this in a very unique way that actually encapsulates the meaning of words and the context of words as it does this. Because words with similar meanings often occur in similar contexts, FastText is able to extract the meanings of words to an astonishing degree. It learns, for instance, that the two words, king and queen, are very similar to the words man and woman. These relationship sequences generated by FastText are then mapped to a 360-degree plane and used for the next step in the deep learning process. The second component takes these sequences from FastText and puts them in order through a convolutional neural network, or CNN for short, to begin predicting and making recommendations to the legal team. To give you an example to try to bring this to life, think about this process in the context of facial recognition. When a CNN analyzes an image to determine whether there actually is the presence of a human face, it does it in a very layered and iterative approach, growing in the sophistication and complexity in the approach as it goes through the layers. At the basic layers, it's looking for things like skin tone and texture that often indicate the presence of a human being. At more sophisticated layers, it's looking for things like the shape of eyes, shape of nose, shape of ears. Higher layers build on previous layers to ultimately determine and confirm that a face really is present in the frame. When it comes to assessing documents, CNNs take a very similar approach in that they build on a multi-layered process. During early stages of the process, the early layers look for words in the document that are related to particular concepts or topics or just categories. In later steps, they begin to look at phrases and sentences that might be of interest. By breaking down documents layer by layer, it can consider the order and relationships words have to each other and begin making recommendations that are of high value to the legal team. These recommendations can happen much faster and much more accurately than any previous technologies used for this purpose. So how does this actually play out when a lawyer logs into an application like Disco? Many of you in the room might be such users. And how does deep learning really impact the practice of law? Well, rather than telling the lawyers what to do, the AI actually sits in the background, much like a diligent legal assistant who's watching and learning constantly based on the signals that it's receiving from the reviewers, from the lawyers who are working on the document sets. It's then building accurate perceptions and it's actually building perspectives on every document. Once it's witnessed enough human signals, the AI begins to asynchronously or on its own schedule deliver recommendations to the case team. As AI suggestions are either accepted or rejected by the legal team, the machine's understanding increases and the recommendations improve. This collaborative and iterative workflow process continues until together the lawyer and the AI have successfully found the vast majority of all relevant material in a data set, whilst having only reviewed a fraction of the documents actually in the data set. Back in the days when information was stored in paper, disclosure projects looked like sifting through boxes and boxes of dusty business records. This is actually where I began my career in this industry, and I can tell you it wasn't a fun experience. Glad the technology has taken over. Lawyers had to flip the lid on every single box, thumb through every page to find the documents that are of interest to their case. They had to do this with every document because of the natural distribution of documents, of the relevant documents in the boxes. So they had to do this process for every single box. It was dusty, it was painful, lots of paper cuts, not fun. For the past 20 years or so, databases have come along to help, to provide lawyers with the ability to search across large amounts of data and to do that from the comfort of their offices or home offices or hotel rooms or airplanes even. Search terms were employed to help focus the review team and reduce the cost of this process. However, despite the best efforts of case teams to build sophisticated and complex search terms, we all know, and it's been proven, that search terms are only moderately effective at finding responsive documents in the greater corpus. And unfortunately, they also often leave behind, in the way of false negatives, documents that should have been in the review set and are critical to the case. Thankfully, the technology has moved on, and we can move beyond the days where search terms was your best and only shot at finding the documents that you're looking for in a case. Today, AI can, much like a magnet, prioritize documents in front of the review queue and bringing fact evidence to the case team in a matter of days rather than weeks or months or even longer. Leveraging AI in the disclosure process is frankly just game-changing to the case teams that I work with, to their timelines, to their budgets, to the development of their case strategy informed by fact evidence, and most importantly to the outcomes that they're driving to their end clients. Taking deep learning to the next level, imagine if you can take the learnings and intelligence that you develop on a single case and you can bring it to your next case. Or maybe even to your next 200 cases. Well, with cross-matter AI capabilities, you can do just that. You can take highly accurate AI models and use them matter over matter. As these models are used matter over matter, they begin to improve, actually, because they're seeing more and more documents and more signals from different case teams. Our corporate clients curate these cross-matter models to appreciate the uniquenesses of their corporate information and business dealings, whilst our law firm clients build them around their practice areas, their areas of expertise to be used matter over matter, client over client. So as an example, just imagine that you are an employment lawyer at a firm and you specialize in harassment cases and you represent companies in those matters. And in any given year, you might see dozens, maybe hundreds of claims pass your desk. You and your team might review and tag tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of documents that are related to harassment. Imagine the power and the efficiency gains if you could roll up all of those individual moments of learning and use that model case after case from the get-go. Very, very powerful. The advanced techniques and unique capabilities of cross-matter AI, we're only beginning to understand the use cases that our clients are coming up with and that even our internal teams are coming up with. So we look to this as a really ripe area of innovation for years to come. Well, that's it. Thank you for your time and attention. Really appreciate it. And if you have any questions or would like to continue this discussion with us, please stop by our booth. To entice you even further, you can't miss us. We're the ones with the glitter ball and I guess the disco dance floor this time. But most importantly, we have a disclosure discombobulator, which looks like that. So we're happy to lock you in it for 60 seconds, see how many hot dogs you can grab, and I've been told that there are some fabulous prizes to be had. So thank you all so much.